Welcome to another edition of Forty20's MMWU podcast, Monday morning wrap up. Kind of works as a name. We're going to make it stick. There is nowhere else we can start but at the iconic Odsal Stadium, where Bradford Bulls, I don't know why I'm laughing, beat the Leeds Rhinos 24 points to 22. Yeah, Monday show from 6 will be lively, won't it? Let's hear from the interim coach of the Leeds Rhinos, taking over from David Furner, for the time being at least. Here's Richard Agar.
A lack of discipline to start with, a terrible lack of discipline, in terms of penalties, in terms of looking after the ball, in terms of working within, the systems that have been put in place. I thought our ability to defend back-to-backs, at times I just thought defensively, we were paddling and looked legless at times. I thought we just couldn't win anywhere near enough tackles. And I think, as the game went on, we were just pinballing and side to side and coming up with poor decisions, and it became very much an individual performance and who can come up with a play rather than going through any sort of offensive process and playing with your eyes up. We talked before the game about these type of games and gifting energy to the opposition. I think first set we go flying out of the line and open up a line break, then not catching kickoffs. It's been a bit symptomatic of probably the season so far. I thought we took it to a whole new level today, and something else we talked about. Well, the sum of a team can be greater than its parts, and if you look down the respective rosters, we've got a very strong team out with the greatest respect to Bradford. But I just thought they played collectively, with more energy than us, and didn't come up with the same. Lacks of discipline in error. So, we probably got what we deserved.
Yeah, Leeds in crisis, Monday, 6 on 4020 Live. It is back once again. Elsewhere in the Challenge Cup this weekend, and sticking with Saturday's action, let's head to the AJ Bell Stadium. Another losing coach for us, as Salford were knocked out 32-18 by Hull. Kingston Road. Was a dreadful performance from the home side from all reports, but a morale-boosting win for the visitors. Here, with his thoughts after the game, is Ian Watson.
Well, I think we've missed a big opportunity, to be fair. I think we didn't show enough kind of enthusiasm or the right kind of attitude going into the game, to be fair.
The first half was a good performance, wasn't it? It was just the final execution in that second half.
It was nothing like us, mate. To be fair, in the first half we were all over the place. Kind of the way we play wasn't how we played that first half, and although we had a lead, was kind of happy with that. Defensively was quite solid in the first half, and we needed that again in the second half. But the way we were playing our sets, getting into the positions for our kicking wasn't how we play. So no, first half was off it as well, and then second half it got worse for us.
It's gutting as well, to be honest, to the Challenge Cup.
Yep.
Could possibly be a blessing going forward? No. I know you'll be gutted today.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not a good thing at all. You want to go as far as you can in the cup as well and compete. So when people fall out of the cup and say, "Oh, it's a good thing, you can focus on the league," no, it's not a good thing at all. We want to have a good run in the cup as well, and we're devastated there, to be fair, because we put up a disappointing performance, and we need to be better than that.
Did you fall down on your processes? I know you use that word a lot.
Yep.
Did they appear today, or were they really gone?
No, fell apart straight from the beginning. I think we've had some good results, and we've played really well. When we've stuck with our processes today, we came well away from them. And
did you detect that the players might be thinking, we're going to win this? Slight overconfidence going into the game? Yeah, potentially is that. Look, there's lots of things going on at this time of year. We've obviously speculation about contracts and people signing at other places, and people can get. I don't like it of them, to be honest. As a coach, I don't like it as a player. I suppose it sorts your future out, but why not end of July? Why not? Can that be the start point? Because you get this every year with most clubs as well, and most clubs will probably tell you the same. They've got players who are playing great, playing for contracts,
and then all of a sudden this point of the season comes where you've got to let them know whether you're keeping them or you're moving them on, or they're getting a contract offer off somebody else, and they know they're playing for somebody else next year.
So this is a distraction now.
It is. Yeah, I don't like it. I can see it from the players' point of view, because they want to know where they stand and they want to kind of get the contract sorted out for going forward in the future. But I think it's a bad thing with what the RFL have done by putting it in place here, because it distracts from what your job is, and your job's a rugby league player, and it doesn't matter if you go into another club next year and you're getting paid off them. You've got a job and a duty to do to the club that you're getting paid off right at this moment in time. But it distracts players, because when they're talking about contracts, or they get an injury and then they're thinking, do I put my hand up and play through that injury? Where before, when they're playing for a contract, they'll be putting their hand up and they'll be playing. Then they've got a lot of things to weigh up as a player at the moment. And I think if you move that away from them, they've not got a distraction. They can just focus on playing rugby.
Did you detect that in the last week or today?
No, I've not. Today it was down to us individually. I thought there was a lot of individuals miles off, to be fair, today, and I think that's just a process of coming into the game and thinking you're probably going to win.
You would think Salford would have seen this as a very good opportunity to get to Wembley this year, wouldn't you? But they fall at the hurdle of Hull Kingston Rovers. Salford out Hull KR progress also on Saturday. The holders were through. Catalan Dragons expected to do the business against Doncaster and did. This is their coach, Steve McNamara.
Credit to Doncaster. I thought they were, it's a very difficult task for them, but they did a tremendous job. The first half, that we didn't create much. We scored a couple of tries off ricocheted kicks and a barge over, and they were great. They were absolutely great. So credit first and foremost to them. Yeah, he got a tight back. He didn't feel anything. He just stood up and his back sort of tightened up. And he was struggling for a period there. He was moving a lot easier now, so hopefully it's just a bit of a spasm. But we'll see how he is during the week. Yeah, just great to have him back on the field. We know how important he is to our group, and it was fantastic to see him back on the field and back into the swing of things. So good for us going into the second half of the season. It'll be a traditional week in terms of how we prepare for this game, but make no mistake about it, it's a special game. It is. It's a special game for us as a Catalan club, for the team, for the individuals, for the game of rugby league in the world. Really, it's a special game. There's no mistaking it. It is, and we're going to a Coliseum. That's basically what it is at the weekend, and we're going there to represent Catalan and rugby league in Catalan and France, if you like, on a worldwide stage. So it's very important for us.
Let's jump back to Friday. Halifax beat Dewsbury 34-6. Wakefield edged out Widnes 26-6. Not as comfortable as the scoreline suggests, and not as comfortable as the scoreline suggests for Hull FC. 28-12 winners over Castleford, a game they won pretty much in a 10-minute spell in the first half, scoring 20 points. We'll hear from Scott Taylor in a moment, the Hull FC forward. But first, here's both coaches, Darryl Powell and the victorious Lee Radford.
I'm really pleased with the result. I'm pleased with the start in particular. I thought we was pleased with the response of a lot of the players as well. Smashed Jake last week about his performance and thought he was really tardy and responded in a really good manner tonight. And obviously we're in the draw for the next round, which is I suppose all what was important tonight.
10 minutes in the first half, the difference in the end, do you think?
Jeez, was it only 10?
Yeah, 20 points, 10 minutes.
That was appalling, wasn't it? I think, I think just some of the things that we've done there. I think Radis spoke about amateur football last week. I think, and that bit belittling amateur football, some of it, to be honest, those boys don't do that. There's some real quality players in playing amateur rugby league, and that was poor today. Some of that stuff is it's unacceptable, completely unacceptable. So I was really disappointed. Thought we got ourselves into such a sticky situation, and it was shocking. I was so disappointed. Thought I could say a lot of words at the moment, but that period was as bad as I've seen from us for a very, very, if not ever, it was shocking.
I think all three work really well together. But again, it's probably not, that platform was laid by our big fellas. Probably Mickey Perry and Scott Taylor deserve a mention as well. I thought them two was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, just about on how that going to go tonight.
Yeah, very. Just keeps getting better really. He's just love to see him come out the other end and in some space because he can move. If he gets it, he's going to finish from deep. Just seemed to claw onto him slightly tonight. So, but brilliant. He come back from playing in front of 80,000 last week and performed really well in a rugby union game, and then to come back in and put in that performance for us was great. I don't know. I just think he's going to be better the longer he's with us. He just keeps. He's a really, really easy, but he's a one-to-one coach. You tell him once, and you see him. You see him take it on and then adjust it. I've got some 20-to-1 blokes, and he's right up there in terms of this is what I want you to do and this is what I want you to change, and you can see him go out of his way to do that. So he makes the coach's job easy, that's for sure.
Well, I don't think I've ever been that animated in a changing room as I was at half time. Clearly I needed to get a response from a group of blokes, but I also needed to be absolutely honest and straight to the point with a few boys as well, because we all get paid to do what we're doing here, and it's a privilege, and we're not paying due respects to that privilege of that first half performance. It's not everybody, of course, but I think as a collective we were just way off, and some individuals were that far off. They're in another stratosphere, to be honest. So
I'd love to have had 5 or 6 goals at it, but I think it's only happened twice. Twice. So the more it happens, the better we'll be, definitely. But that's been the problem with our season today. It's just been anybody, where anybody can play, they end up going. So, but again, we're just hoping that will keep battling on and swinging, and that comes together when it needs to.
Well, before tonight, I thought we were going all right. I think we've had a pretty harsh injury, and we've got a couple of young halves out there who are trying to control the team, and that's tough. So there's some givens there for the team, but it's not really an excuse. I think we've just got to learn how we play with a couple of young halves out there, and I wouldn't lay the blame at their door. It's true he did have one of his best games, but he's a 20-year-old kid playing Super League on a consistent basis. So we just got to find a way of playing, and everybody's got to have an edge about them. And we had, we didn't have a lot of edge about us tonight for most of that game. So yeah, obviously, you don't like losing games, and we're in a sticky. I mean, if you look at it further back, we're in a sticky period here. But you're only one game away from fixing that up. So, but we have to have some honesty to get ourselves out of it. And we've had a fair bit of that today. Probably as honest as I've been for a very long time. Probably need to be a little bit more honest more often, and then we might not get to this point.
You mentioned tired, mentally tired. How much of a boost is it having a cup? It's a different focus, and like you said, you've got so many good memories of it. Is it been a bit of a lift for everyone this week?
I reckon it has. I think it's naturally brought some energy to train and the bounce of it. It's knockout rugby, so you're almost a bit scared, aren't you? Thinking you only get one shot, and there's only 2 cups up for grab, and we know how it feels. It was like sort of good mindset to put the league aside for a week. I think, do you know what, whatever we are, joint third, let's worry about the cup and worry about the league next week. So we've got that win. And now we can worry about the league again, and it's not much of a tougher test than going to Warrington, so we should be excited to go there and get back on track.
You mentioned the cup, and obviously the success you've had. Is it something the boys still talk about quite a lot?
Oh yeah, you can't not see it. It's planted on the training ground. It's great memories. 16, 17, some of the best memories people will ever have, whether you're a player or a fan. And I think, like I said earlier, that gives a bit of an edge. Having them boys out there, I think it gives that little 1%, what it feels like to have that trophy, having a few boys out there. And like I said, I've been lucky enough to win it 3 times, and there's no better feeling. I want to get there again myself, and we need to work hard, but if we hit that form like we did tonight, start games like that, and start with that sort of energy, then will be good for knockout rugby, I think.
And you mentioned Warrington, you all won, don't you? It's fair to say that they've took you up the last couple of times. I guess that's going to be a big focus this week, maybe trying to put that right.
Yeah, massively. We've not been good enough against them. and going there is tough, but we need to put in a good performance there. After that, like I said, hopefully this will be a bit of a catalyst to kick us on for the rest of the season. But I'll give you an answer to that next Saturday.
2 games on Sunday. Tight one to end the round as the St Helens came out 22-16 winners over Huddersfield. Let's hear from their coach Justin Holbrook.
We expected a tough game, we got it.
Why couldn't you finish them off? Was
yeah,
that
well, we would have liked to. Look, the ruck was the slowest I've ever seen it, so that made it very difficult. But look, you know, it's just a hard game, and the pleasing thing was, like you said, we couldn't quite kick clear and finish him off, but we controlled the game, and that's what I've said a number of times this year about that. The second half we couldn't kick away, but predominantly we were in control of the game. I know we're only 6 points ahead and never felt comfortable, but the way we were playing, and obviously some of our last plays we need to improve on, but generally for the 40 minutes we were in control of the game, and that's the most pleasing thing. As I said, one is to win the game, but two, I thought we controlled it quite well.
Do you look at the cup tie in a different way to a league game in processes, or how you go about it?
Not the way we want to play, but understanding that there's more at stake, and the beauty about this competition is that every team there's a genuine chance, and you don't have to be the most consistent all year. And Catalan proved that last year. You just pick your mark and aim up on the day. So we knew that Huddersfield would come with that approach today, and they did, and we got a really tough game. And I think all the Challenge Cup games have proved that over the weekend. And as I said, that's the beauty of the competition.
The tactic to kick to Huddersfield's left edge?
No, not really. No, not at all.
Got some joy
just
out
the way
of
it worked out. Yeah, we were just sort of finishing our sets over that side. So it wasn't a deliberate tactic. No.
Wakefield next as well.
Yeah.
Always going to be a hard game, whether you first, but what are you expecting from them?
Yeah, it's another sort of tricky game, you know, like today. You know, they're really capable of playing really well, Wakey, and can always test any side in the competition. So another tough game ahead, but that's okay.
And a controversial game, it's fair to say. Warrington, they beat Wigan 26-24 at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Plenty of talking points after this one, and we'll hear from both coaches in a moment. Adrian Lamb, but first the Warrington boss, Steve Price.
It was a tough game. We expected that. I thought that's the best they've played this season, Wigan. Showed a lot of heart out there today, and they were very courageous. And we knew what type of team that they were going to bring today, and we thought we fought really hard. And, we could have executed a bit better at times. I get that, but when the game was in the balance, that last 12 minutes, really proud that we found another level. We went another gear, and even after the Charters dropped ball, everyone was composed. There's a huge amount of belief in our team, and everyone was just nice and calm and patient. We had to turn them away, and we had to do that today in numbers. I was just really proud of the effort.
When Sargentson went over earlier on from Tommy Lillo, sit on Blake Austin, did you think it was a try?
Which one was that?
When Sargentson went over early doors after Tommy Lillo hit Blake Austin.
No, that wasn't a try. No, I didn't feel that was a try.
You didn't feel it was a try at all?
Very good decision to take the 2 points when you did. It would have been easy to have been carried away with the adrenaline.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in hindsight, it's a beautiful thing, and it was. It turned out to be a big game-changing moment, and I thought Sidaleki Akwala had some really big moments throughout the game, and some big power running. They splattered a few blokes. As I said, we had to bring our game, and credit where it's due. They were fantastic today.
Stephen Ratchford and Darryl Clark, good performances from them as well. So.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they very proud of their effort. Darryl Clark, he got knocked around a bit earlier on, and then he played really tough today. He got over the advantage line, caused a bit of havoc, and nearly scored at the end there. It was just unfortunate through their wave of numbers in defence. So there's a huge amount of belief in our team and the club, and it's important that we continue to grow.
A little bit devastated, to be honest. I felt we played well enough to win the game. I thought we were the better team, but a few crucial decisions there, both on our parts and every other area. So just a disappointing dressing room. I think I know they've put enough effort in there to win the game. So.
Big call early on to rule out Sargentson.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I mean, I sit in the grandstand, so I even on the computer I can't see what they've ruled there. So does anyone know?
I think he said it's 2 rounds.
So it's come off rule away.
He's saying Tommy's knocked on, yeah. After
Has anyone seen it like in the live or anything on the site?
No.
A lot of people have been surprised by it.
They looked at it 10 times, and the referees have ordered try and feel. So they must have seen the arm touch the ball. So I'm guessing that's what they've seen and what they've ruled on.
What caught you basically?
Yeah, well, what I saw on the laptop beside me, it looked like a try. And talking to Tommy said he didn't touch it. So I mean, what do you do there? I don't know.
Great shot as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you get that from Tommy. That's one of his characteristics in his play.
Yeah, and just errors at the end, just creeping in, just a fatigue of the games.
Yeah, we didn't. I think when we missed the kick for touch in the second half, there we were absolutely flying, and I thought, I don't want to point the finger there, but we didn't have the ball for 13 minutes after that, and they got the 2 points in that 13 minutes. So that sort of hurt us a fair bit. We would have been 30, 40 metres out coming in to win the game, so to speak. So just a couple of little individual errors throughout the whole game. I felt what we call pressure releases. I thought that sort of we were really close to being really, really good, but just we'd made 6 errors in the first 20 minutes of the play, and I said to them at half time, like, we can't, for us to be back to where you want to be, we can't do that. So there was plenty. They were very courageous today. There's players that were playing back from injury, hadn't played for 8 weeks and 6 weeks, so I can't question their courage or their character.
So 8 teams remain. Quarter-finals were drawn by Ellery Hanley and Jonathan Davis. Huddersfield Giants, they're out. St Helens versus Wakefield Trinity. Wishful thinking. Bradford Bulls versus Halifax. Hull Kingston Rovers versus Warrington Wolves. And Hull FC versus the Catalan Dragons. The ties will be played between the 30th of May and the 2nd of June. And all 4 will be on television. So we'll find out who and when in future days. Right, in league action, rearranged game from earlier in the season. York beat Rochdale 24-18 in the Championship. York third in the table following that victory. 2 points clear of Sheffield, Leigh and Bradford. Of course, it's the Summer Bash this weekend. All the games being played at the Bloomfield Road Stadium in Blackpool. You think I know it by now. Toronto versus Toulouse, Featherstone, York, Rochdale, Swinton, Bradford, Halifax, Barrow, Sheffield, Batley, Dewsbury and Leigh Widnes over the weekend. And a couple of games in League One as well this weekend. On Saturday, London Scholars beat Crusaders 19 points to 18. London second in the table now, 11 points with Whitehaven, who have played a game fewer. And a third win of the season for the Coventry Bears, and a comfortable one as well. It has to be said on the scoreline, 31 points to 30 against Workington. And Coventry now level on points with their Cumbrian rivals, along with Doncaster all on 6, just outside the top 5 of League One. Round 4 of Women's Super League got underway on Sunday and was completed as well. Should it have gone to the Castlewood Tigers versus Helens? Probably. Cass winning 30 points to 14 and remaining unbeaten at the top of the Women's Super League. Who can catch the Tigers seems to be the question. I went down to the Mobile Rocket Stadium. Wakefield Trinity took on Featherstone Rovers. Fev picking up their first win of the season by 40 points to 8. Afterwards I spoke to a couple of the Trinity side. In a moment you'll hear from the captain Danny Swain, but first here is Georgia Cutt. Georgia, a tough game out there this afternoon.
Yeah, to be fair it was, but it was very enjoyable, and I think the girls put in a great performance. Like, credit to Featherstone, keep pushing, but no, it was actually a really enjoyable game. Like, we love the toughness, the challenge, so actually it was a really good game. So yeah, had a really good day. Yeah,
they were a very physical side, Featherstone. They haven't picked up a win before today, but they had tough fixtures, and today was their day.
Yeah, they've got a big, tough pack. Some really hard runners, credit to them as well, but we had a lot more gas on our side, so yeah, it did benefit us in a way as well, but yeah, they deserve the win, so yeah, well done to them.
First game here as well at the Mobile Rocket Stadium, first home game of the season as well, so nice to have a decent crowd in as well.
Yeah, really nice to be here as our home ground and like the crowd and everything, so yeah, it's been great, and thanks to everyone for coming as well, so yeah, it's really nice to play here, yeah.
Challenge Cup in a couple of weeks against Widnes, a good chance to progress. They've obviously, though, a team that have improved from last year.
Yeah, hopefully we can try out some new things against them, test them as well and ourselves. Obviously, even though they're in a different league, still they're going to have a good performance, so we still need to, put in a good performance with them. But yeah, very exciting. Looking forward to that.
Finally, 4 games in then. How do you rate Wakefield's start to the Women's Super League season? First season in this top flight.
Yeah, I think it's quite... Obviously, we've gone into this league fairly confident, unconfident even, but obviously everyone else has had a chance to be in the league. We're new, but I think we're putting a good performance in every game. We've tried. But yeah, it's exciting being in this league and trying to be up there with the other teams, but yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah.
Danny, disappointing loss. What do you make of the effort from your girls today?
Do you know what? I'm pleased with the effort. I think we really stepped it up. I don't think the score reflects the game. I hope it were a great game to watch for spectators that turned out to support us. A few small things that need tweaking, but I think we're definitely improving.
4 games into the season then, 1 victory. How would you rate that start to the Super League season?
It's not nice to admit it, but it was predicted, it was expected. We're a lot of years behind most clubs. We've got a lot to work on. We've seen today we've got a real young side that really stepped up today. I'm so proud of some of the girls taking some hits that they did. It is a big step from what they're used to. I'm excited for Wakefield. They've got some good stuff to look forward to.
A very physical side, Featherstone. Obviously, they picked up their first win of the season today. Coming into this game, it would have been foolish to write them off because, of course, they've had some tough opposition in the first few weeks.
Yeah, of course they have, and they know that. I still think today we're down to we're hungriest, and I think Featherstone were, unfortunately for us. But yeah, it's good.
So 4 games in, obviously 1 win, but as you say, that's what was expected. Are you happy with the progression of the team and how they're playing and going forward? That many were predicting perhaps bottom place, but obviously you've got that 1 win on the board already.
Yeah, if you'd have asked me that last week, I couldn't see a future for us. This week, something has just clicked with the team. I think we've accepted now the pressure's off us. I think we just need to turn up, play rugby, enjoy it, and I think that's what we did today. We actually played rugby and threw the ball around.
So what put the pressure back on you then? Because next time you've got Widnes in the Cup, obviously you're the favourites of that one against the team from the Championship, but although you beat them well last year, they're a team who've certainly improved in the last 12 months.
Yeah, definitely, and like you said, from last season in Championships they were our boo-boo team, and you've only got to look at what happened with Bradford and Men yesterday, what happened to their game, so anything's possible, but we'll keep training hard. I'm still confident with, they've improved, I think we've improved, so bring it on.
Bradford Bulls beat York City Knights 40 points to 4, and Leeds Rhinos got a big morale boosting victory and a little bit of revenge, tiny bit of revenge for last season's grand final defeat. They beat Wigan away from home by 12 points to 4. More women's action coming up this weekend, I think, at the Summer Bash, but no one seems to know because it's not been officially announced, so we'll see, I guess. Don't forget, Monday night, 6 o'clock, it is 4020 live. If you miss it, the podcast will be there as well. And we'll be back next Monday live from Blackpool. When I say live, I'll be recording in Blackpool, and you'll hear it on Monday morning, because this is 4020's Monday Morning Wrap-Up.